Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ixalan full set review. We're continuing rolling through with our black cards next. So, ready to get a bit dark, Anthony?
Yeah, some vampires and pirates on the list now.
Yeah, let's see what we can kill with our black cards. And we're going to kick things off with Anointed Deacon. So this is a 5 mana 3/3 vampire cleric. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can have a vampire get +2/+0 until end of turn. So it seems like a fairly weak common, like as a 5 mana 3/3, but that ability is quite good.
Yeah, especially on lifelink guys. And if you've got a bunch of tokens, you can just swing them in. 3/1 lifelink has seemed pretty good.
Yeah, that seems sweet. I think if you're in a vampire deck, you really do have to be in that tribal synergy to make this worthwhile.
Yeah.
If you're not getting that trigger every turn, then it's not worth it. But yeah, no, good stuff.
Yeah, no. Boring. Next one. Okay, Bishop of the Bloodstained. 3 black for a 3/3 vampire cleric. And when it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life for each vampire you control. Ooh, this one could be really spicy.
Yeah, that trigger's going to kill some people.
Yep. This is a 5-drop 3/3 that I'm interested in.
Yeah, certainly we've seen that the vampires can make tokens quite readily. They can go wide. We've got that uncommon in black-white. They've got a few different ones that just make a bunch of little dudes. So I can see this doing 5-6 damage when it comes into play without too much difficulty.
Which is brutal if you've got, 6 creatures now?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, this card's pretty good.
Once again, you must have a vampire deck to even consider running this, but if you do, then you're going to want it.
Yep, then it'll be fine curve topper.
Right, so over to the Blight Keeper. So this is a 1 mana 1/1 flying, so it's a flying min, and it has the gigantic ability, so it's part of that cycle. 8 mana, tap, sacrifice it, target opponent loses 4 life, and you gain 4 life. Not a fan of this guy.
Yeah, me either. 4 life, yeah, it's just not enough. I mean, you wouldn't want to put too much more on it, but it's 8 mana, it's just cost too much.
Yeah, I mean, when you put this up against like the Trilobite, which is doing the same kind of creature but drawing you 3 cards, that's such a more powerful ability.
Yeah, definitely. That's a shame.
Alright, let's have a look at the first black rare. That's the Blood Crazed Paladin. This is 2 mana for a 1/1 flash, which is pretty terrible, but it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died this turn.
That's an interesting one. How many counters do you want for this to be passable?
Well, the fact that you have to be playing this at least turn 3, turn 4, means you really want to be getting 2 or 3 counters on it to make it a 3/3 or a 4/4, I think.
So on, say, turn 3, you trade your 2/2 with their 2/2 and then play this afterwards?
Yeah, you're just getting a 2/2. Oh no, if it's trading, yeah, 3/3, so that's probably a fine play.
Yeah, it's not really anything exciting though, is it?
No.
Yeah.
If you see this in a deck, like we could possibly see this in a deck with a lot of rats, red-black there's a Pyroclasm in this set, so maybe that's where place that this goes, but yeah, not a huge fan.
And even then, once it hits the field, it's just a vanilla dude, so I'm not too excited by this.
Yeah. Let's keep going and try and find something else in vampires.
Yeah. Oh, this is a card. Boneyard Parley. 5 black for a sorcery at Mythic. Each exile up to 5 target creature cards from graveyards. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put all cards from the pile of your choice onto the battlefield under your control and the rest into their owner's graveyards. So it's a FOF for graveyards.
Yeah, that's a huge effect.
Yeah.
But it's also a huge mana cost.
Yeah. This has got to be worth it though, right?
I don't know, it depends on the deck you're playing against, because you're getting 2 or 3 creatures, most likely. And if there's 1 giant bomb and 4 like random dudes, they're probably just going to put 1 and 4, but...
That's worth it though, for 7 mana.
Yeah, probably going to be worth it.
Or 4 dudes, if the...
But in that case, yeah, like, but most likely it's going to be you're going to get 2 decent creatures or 3 mediocre creatures.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So, yeah, this is probably worthwhile. 7 mana for the sorcery. I don't think it's worth picking first, though. I think I want to get this later on, like if I'm going to play it. I don't think I'm going to spend an early pick on this. Which means I'm probably not going to get it, because people are going to take this earlier than me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it a little bit earlier than you. I think this is a powerful card, a really good late game. So I think I'm going to go for this early.
Yeah, I don't know. This is absolute bomb mana, and I don't think this is playing the role of an absolute bomb.
Yeah, fair enough.
Really cool in Commander though, because you just go, what's the best 5 things that have died so far? And if you play the politics right, you can get some really good combinations of cards out of people.
Wow, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Commander, this seems like a lot of fun.
I'd really like to put this into a deck with like a Mindslaver effect, where you get to choose the opponent, and you also get to control that opponent, and just get 5/0 snap.
Well, how does that work? Yeah, okay, so you control them during your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you find a way to flash this in.
Okay,
You could flash. It's not hard to find ways to instant speed a sorcery.
Yeah.
Contract killing.
Contract killing, 3 black for a common sorcery. Destroy target creature, straight up, and create 2 treasures. This is good.
Well, yeah, it's sad, but this is good.
Yeah.
It's removal. It says destroy target creature on it, so you're gonna play it, even if it's 5 mana.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sorcery, which is kind of crappy, but this is kind of what you have to pay nowadays for a common.
It's nice you get 2 mana back out of that, so you're gonna have a good amount of mana next turn. Help get you up to those giant bombs. Maybe it'll get you to Boneyard Parlay mana.
Exactly right. You kill their best guy, and then you
Get it back.
Give it to you. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, this is what removal looks like. So play it in your black decks.
Yeah.
Next is a Costly Plunder. This is 2 mana for an instant. As an additional cost, you need to sacrifice an artifact or creature and draw 2 cards. So this is better than Altar's Reap, because Altar's Reap is you must sacrifice a creature, and there are treasure tokens. So this is most likely going to be 2 mana, or even say 3 mana, because you're sacrificing an artifact treasure, and just draw 2 cards at instant speed, which is a good card.
Yeah, I think treasures make this a lot better. Again, I'm also looking at... We haven't seen red yet, but I'm waiting to see the things that you can steal, because if there's a few of them, I really like this card. It goes up a lot for me.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I can think of 2 steal effects. One is rare, but one is the threaten effect. There is one hijack in the set, so...
Yeah, I thought there were 3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there might be another one in there. I guess this is also pretty good in black-white, because you've got those vampire tokens running around quite a lot, so... Spending 2, sacking one of those, getting a couple of cards is pretty well worthwhile.
Yep.
I think you're going to see this a lot more than you would expect in most sets for Limited.
Yep, I agree. Just because of those treasures.
Alright, we got some Dark Nourishment.
Ah, that's gross. 4 and a black for an instant at uncommon. It deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 3 life. This doesn't seem that good because it's only 3 damage, but this card is quite good, and I'm going to be happy to play these.
I don't know, this is 5 mana that doesn't say destroy target creature on it.
Yeah, it's unassuming, and it doesn't kill big things, but it's going to kill a lot of things, and the 3 life matters a lot. And being instant speed is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of have to put my faith in Wizards on this one, because they've made it 5 mana and they've made it an uncommon. So I think this has to be more powerful than it looks to me. Because I look at contract killing and think I want that more than this. And I shouldn't, because this is an uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, but I really do think... I've played a similar card, I think it was M11, M12, and that card was actually quite good. So I've just... From history, I think this is a good card.
Yeah, and I suppose it's important that it also goes to the face. So this is it's a 5 mana lightning helix.
Yep.
Basically. Dead-Eye Tormentor, 3 mana human pirate with raid. It's a 2/2 for 3, and when it enters the battlefield, if you attacked, target opponent discards a card, which is very reminiscent. I can't remember the name of it, but there was definitely a card like this in Khan's block, and I quite liked it. So I think this is a good card.
Yeah, it's card advantage. It's a 2-for-1. So yeah, this is good in your raidy aggressive pirate decks.
Yeah, I mean, and getting that down early, playing this on turn 3, if you've attacked with a 1 or 2 drop, it's a really awkward time for your opponent to have to discard a card. Because if they pitch their lands, they may not get to their bombs, and if they pitch their bombs, then they don't have them to play when they've got enough lands, so...
Yeah. And discard can just be brutal against some draws, and getting a 2/2 with it is just great.
Very good card. I'm going to be playing that. Whether you're playing pirates or not, I think you want to play this card.
Yeah.
How about this one?
This one's an interesting one. Dead-Eye Tracker. 1 black mana for a 1/1 human pirate at rare, and it has 1 and a black and tap. Exile 2 target cards from an opponent's graveyard. It explores. I don't think this is good.
No, this seems like too many hoops for not enough game.
Yeah. It's... I just feel like, yeah, it's just a lot. 2 manas for an activated ability, when you don't even know what you're going to get out of it. Yeah,
See, I think that part's okay. If this was just 1 black, 1/1, and 2 mana explore, that would be fine. I think it's that intervening text that really gives you the problem, because there has to be at least 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard to do it. Not in graveyards, not in your graveyard. Your opponent must have 2 cards in their graveyard to activate the ability at all.
Yeah.
So this is not good early because your opponent won't have stuff in their graveyard.
Nope. And late, it's slow as anything. Yeah, no, I don't like this card at all.
Yeah, going to be passing on the Dead-Eye Tracker.
Desperate Castaways. Yeah, 1 and a black for a 2/3. That's a good rate. It's a human pirate, and it can't attack unless you control an artifact. Okay, there's the drawback. That's a significant drawback. Because unless you get it very soon, this is just going to get outclassed. So...
Yep. Can't block. I'd be more than happy to play this card, but can't attack. Nah, not interested. You can't trigger your raid, which is something you're going to want to do in this color combination.
Yeah.
You're pretty much exclusively putting this in blue-black decks. Because they're the ones that have treasures, and they're the ones who may want to block with a 2/3.
Yeah, they're the most likely to have treasures, I think. You're right, yeah. Yeah.
But even then, it's not a great 2-drop. You have to... pretty average.
Yeah, just a tiny bit better than average. Man.
Alright, Direfleet Hoarder. 2 mana for a human pirate, and when it dies, create a treasure. So 2 mana, 2/1, dies to give you a treasure. Seems actually quite good.
Yeah, this is a Piker with upside. 2/1s. We've seen a lot of tokens, so like 1/1 tokens. So I'm hoping this won't just be bad just because it matches up so poorly. But generally, if that's not happening, then this is just kind of card advantage, kind of.
Almost, yeah. I mean, if you get to trade this with something, then you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Because you're getting that treasure as a bonus. So.
Yeah.
Decent black common.
Yep.
The Interloper.
3 and a black for a 2/2. That's a bad rate. Human pirate, but it has menace, which is very good. And when it enters the battlefield, it explores. Okay, so potentially a 3/3 menace, or it draws you a land. This one's a bit swingy as well. I'm gonna lean on playing these cards because you're more than likely to hit. But yeah.
Only just. I feel like it's a 50-50. Most decks are very close to half land. I mean, 1723 is pretty close to 50-50. And
yeah.
I don't think 4 mana 2/2 menace is good enough. I think that's too far down.
That draws you a card?
Draw a land. Yeah.
Yeah,
search your library for a land.
Yeah. Nah, it's not quite that. Because that's actually pretty good. But Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. I was first really down on Explore, and now I kind of like it. And I haven't even played with the cards yet, so I'm not sure how this is going to go.
Alright, well, I'm going to hold you to leaning on playing it. I'm leaning the other way. I don't like it. I think I'm going to want to find better 4-drops than this one.
Fair enough.
Like Direfleet Ravager, which is a 5-drop, but it has Menace and Death Touch. It's a 4/4, and when it enters the battlefield, each player loses a third of his or her life rounded up.
I hate this card. Just because they make you calculate a third, that's just stupid.
Hey, as a maths teacher, I can tell you, you need to be able to divide by 3.
Yeah, I'm fine with dividing by 3. I just don't like it. It's just going to cause issues. I can just see it.
Well, bring your calculator or get your phone out and get your calculator. It's not that difficult. But Menace Death Touch 4/4, awesome. In the deck that this goes into, which if you first pick this, just play Black X Pirates, you are the aggressor. So I think this is very good. And Two-Headed Giant is a really interesting place for this to be, because each player loses 2/3 of his or her life.
Loses a third.
Yes, but each player loses a third, and it's all calculated at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
So it's both of those players at that moment. If they're both on, you start on 30 life. If everyone's on 30 life, both teams go down to 10.
So what does this have to do to just kill you outright? So if you're on...
You can't.
Round it up.
Oh, I guess if you're on
4?
1.
No, that's only 2. So you have to be on like 3. No. Yeah, you have to be on 2.
No, if you're on 2, a third is 0.66. So round it up to 1.
Oh, okay. You're right.
So you have to be on 1. If you're on 1, this kills you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it always rounds up to 1.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a bomb. You always take it, you always play it, because Menace Death Touch, even the lose life is fine. But I don't know, I hate this card. I even loved maths in high school, but no, I hate this card.
Well, you just demonstrated that you had difficulty working out.
Yeah, I know.
What a third is, so that's fine. If I'm at if you're playing at Guff on the weekend, just give me a call. I'll help you out with your third calculations. It's fine.
Yeah, but that's against the rules. I can't call people.
Oh, you can call Judge. I'm a judge.
Okay. Cool.
How much is a third of X? And then I can tell you. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Duress is back.
This is the best version of it. I love this artwork and this flavor text.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So it's just target opponent reveals his hand, choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and that player discards that card. In limited, not a great effect. If your opponent is playing a lot of removal, maybe you play this. But that's like they're playing 12 removal spells and 5 creatures or something.
Rare, very rare.
I've done it. I've built that deck, but
oh, me too. But
yeah, you don't need Duress. This is a standard card. But it's always good to have in standard. Yeah, great card to have in standard. So. And what is there? Our flavor text: solitude and starvation are brutal punishments, but even worse is all that time to think.
Yeah, the poor vampires just stuck out on the ocean, got nothing.
All right, next up.
Fathom Fleet Captain, 1 in a black for a 2/1 human pirate with menace. And when it attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with menace. This is a really good card.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I mean, we just spoke before, menace is a great ability. Really cool combat ability, and we've seen that more and more ever since it was keyworded.
Yeah, I feel like there's quite a bit in this set too. I think we've already seen like 2 cards. And this makes a bunch of tokens with menace.
And you just need to have another pirate, so...
Yeah, seems pretty easy to do. There's a lot in blue and black, and I assume there's a couple in red as well.
Yeah, I guess the only awkward part is you need to pay 2. So...
Yeah. That's...
It's not doing that early in the game, I don't think. You're probably not getting that trigger to work until turn 4. Which is still fine, but...
But you're usually attacking on turn 3 and not getting blocked, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I guess because you have to have another non-token pirate, so it gets through for 2 on turn 3. That's no big deal.
Yeah, and then
but
on turn 4, it'll probably trade with something, and you get a 2/2 out of it. That seems good to me.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, overall, very good card, so I'm more than happy to play it, even if I didn't have the rest of that text.
Yep.
It's a 2-mana 2/1 with Menace, which is quite good.
Yep, very aggressive. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. 3 and a black for a 3/3 human pirate, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Ugh. This is okay.
Yeah, we've seen this recently.
Yeah, it was a split card, kind of, in the second set, Fate Reforged. So you could either put a +1/+1 counter on it, or destroy, or disability when it enters.
Yeah, I feel like it was that, or there may have been something in Kaladesh that did a similar effect. And the fact that I can't remember it demonstrates that it's probably not very good. But I do remember having this as a limited card around the place.
Yeah, that card wasn't the worst. The reason it wasn't that good from Fate Reforged was because you were stuck with a 1/2. This is a 3/3, so it's a reasonable body. Yeah. It's just kind of awkward. I guess it's kind of a raid trigger, so you just attack your guy in there. If they block it, then you get to kill their big guy.
Yeah. And I think mixing this in with some of the red cards, like there's Ryle in the set, which is a card that just pings something for 1.
Cool.
So this might work well there. It's a 5 mana, get a 3/3 and kill something, which is quite good.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think there's places where this is going to go, and as you said, a Hill Giant is not the worst card in the world. 4 mana 3/3 is just fine. So
yeah, it'll trade with stuff.
Next we have Grim Captain's Call. This is a 3 mana sorcery that allows you to return a pirate card from your graveyard to your hand, and then do the same for a vampire, dinosaur, and merfolk.
I don't know if I like this card. I don't think I do.
Yeah, I'm not super keen. Obviously, if you get all 4 of these, it's kind of ridiculous, but you're playing some kind of weird 5-color deck. So you probably deserve to win that game.
So, so this is an achievement then that I will have to unlock by the end of this format.
Yeah, you need to play 5-color green and just get all of the things back. I can
Challenge
see
accepted.
this getting pirates and vampires. So
yep.
Regularly you will get 1 card back, which is fine. You could get a decent creature, and sometimes you're going to get 2 cards back, so
which is good.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like this. I'm going to start off not playing this card. We'll see how we go.
In my more control-y black decks, so if I'm playing blue-black, then I will more likely consider this. Just because I don't mind these kinds of effects, and we've played them before, where it's, even if it's just get a 1 creature back is okay. So
yeah, it's just that it's got those, the certain types, and you're going to have creatures that aren't these types in your deck. And it's just, I don't know. I feel it's too constricting, but I could be wrong. I
don't know. I don't think we've seen many black creatures so far that aren't at least a vampire or a pirate. So I think this is pretty regularly going to get a creature back.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I could be wrong. If it's good, I'm going to be playing the crap out of it. So, yeah.
Alright, so next is a Heartless Pillage. This is 3 mana for Mind Rot, and a little bit of a raid bonus. If you attack with a creature, you get a treasure. So 3 mana, target opponent discards 2 cards.
I like this card.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Mind
Rot.
Rot. Yeah. I've always been a fan of them, and I think it's going to be good here too. In sealed.
Yeah, in sealed, maybe. I've never been a huge fan of Mind Rot. It's one of the cards that gets cut from my deck very regularly. It's like I lay it out and go, this could be okay, and it just ends up being worse than a lot of other things. So the raid trigger might push it over the edge, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I love the art though.
Yeah, that's some funky art. I'm presuming that's a merfolk that's getting pillaged here. Yeah,
it's weird that's Mind Rot, that artwork, because it's not affecting the mind at all. It's just killing them, kind of. But yeah.
Well, it's not actually called Mind Rot, obviously, so they can get away with that.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I
sort of
guess.
thing.
But, you know.
They're stealing their treasures, basically. It's taking away your stuff and getting a treasure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that kind of makes sense. Next we have Kite Sail Freebooter.
That's a weird name for a card.
It's a very weird name for a card.
1 and a black for a 1/2 human pirate with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and exile that card until it leaves the battlefield. I like this card a lot. Not in limited, but constructed I like it quite a bit.
I almost like it in limited, just because granted it's not a great body, but that information is really powerful. Even if you don't get anything, just having a 2-mana 1/2 flying is okay, but knowing what's up in your opponent's hand can be so powerful.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be good enough for me, generally speaking, like peeking and then having a 1/2 for 2. But this is a set with raid, and you will get something 50% of the time, maybe. So, yeah, you're right. This might be good enough for limited.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna play it because I can really see a lot of upsides. I mean, it's a pirate, which is a relevant creature type, as you said. It's an evasive creature, triggering raid. Curve this into the card we just saw.
Yeah.
Strip a bunch of cards out of your opponent's hand. I think I'm going to start liking it and see if I'm proved to be wrong about it.
Yep, I agree.
Cool, nice card. This one looks really weird.
Yeah, Lurking Chupacabra. 3 and a black for a 2/3 beast horror, and whenever a creature you control explores, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. That's weird. Shadow birthed it, the moon gave it eyes, and the jungle gave it teeth, but it was death that taught it cruelty. Okay.
Whiteley. I think Whiteley needs to stick around the dinosaurs, because that's a really terrifying looking creature. This is a green-black card, I'm pretty sure. Because obviously it's about explores, so that I'm guessing that's what the green-black type archetype is. I don't think it's a very strong archetype because we didn't see too much in uncommons or anything that multicolour that lean towards that.
Yeah, there's no black-green uncommon, and there's no blue-white uncommon. So there's no dual colours because it's not really supported those two combinations.
Yeah, so I think if you end up in this sort of a deck, you're going to have all the cards from it that you really want, but I don't think it's supported enough to want to play something like this.
Yeah, this is really awkward. You're gonna need a critical number.
And nothing really explores in the other colours. Like, there's a couple of little ones here and there that explore, but if you're not in green-black, this is a bad card. Yeah,
I think we saw the Menace one, and with the rare, this thing can just... Oh no, that's only once per turn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is very good.
Yeah. I'm going to pass on the Chupacabra. March of the Drowned, 1 mana. Either return target creature from your graveyard to your hand, or get back 2 pirates from your graveyard to your hand.
This one I can get behind. I like this one a lot more.
Yeah, I think this is better than the uncommon. It's not going to be too difficult to get 2 pirates out of this card.
Yeah, and the other one is like get something or anything. I like the ability to just get anything back. Like I can just chuck this in like a green or a red black or a green black and get a dinosaur back. And yeah, just be cool with that.
Yeah, black white, get your best vampire. Like this, a raised dead is fine, and the fact that it's 1 mana versus 3 is such a big difference because you can play this and the creature you get back in the same turn.
Exactly. I think that's why I like this one more. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gonna go towards this one. The art's quite an interesting style too. It's gonna very much like a painting sort of going on.
Yeah, it's a little bit old school, I think, in terms of magic art, but pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, this I believe is a reprint.
Yes, it is. This is beautiful art. Mark of the Vampire, 3 and a black for an enchantment aura. You enchant a creature and it gets +2/+2 and lifelink. This card is so swingy. I played this. This was in a core set, I'm very sure, and this card was incredibly swingy. Either this runs away with the game real quick, or you get 2 for 1.
Yeah, basically your opponent has to answer this as soon as possible, because if they don't kill the creature this is on, you are so dead.
Yeah. Lifelink's just huge, and with that big of a buff, it's gonna end games real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the art. I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with it. It looks a little bit CG, a bit too much.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, really sweet card, and I think because removal is pretty average in this set, as long as you are careful with how you play this and don't run it into open mana, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah. It is a 2-for-1 though, so this one's not like you're not getting any benefit, you're not fighting, you're not getting a card or anything, but yeah.
Next up we have Queen's Agent. This is a 6 mana 3/3 with lifelink and explore. So enters the battlefield, it explores, does its thing. So 6 mana 4/4 lifelink. Yeah, kind of average. So because it's even mediocre on the explore being a +1/+1, I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah, this is filler at best.
Yeah, find something better to do with 6 mana.
Yeah, Queen's Agent. We've seen a couple of things with the Queen. Do you know if there's any lore about a Queen of the Vampires or something?
No, I haven't seen anything. Unless Vona is a female. Because I couldn't tell whether or not the Vona is a male or female, so might have to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe it's something for the next set.
Yeah, wait and see. Another Queen, Queen's Bay Soldier, 2 mana 2/2. It's a bear. That's a vampire.
Cool. Moving on.
Raiders
Wake. 3 and a black for an enchantment at uncommon. Whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life, and the raid trigger at the beginning of your end step. If you attacked with a creature this turn, target opponent discards a card. Oh, that can be brutal.
That seems good. And this is the 3rd card we've seen in black that is about discard.
Yes, that's correct.
So this could be a build around. I think you probably can play it without building around it too much. But if you've got any of those dudes that their raid trigger is an opponent discards a card, or you've got some Mind Rots as well, yeah, this could be pretty good.
Yeah, this is going to prey on the big mana decks. It's just going to strip their hand. Because, yeah, I mean, once their hand gets empty as well, that's perfect for the raid decks, because then they don't have to worry about tricks from your opponent. You know what you're getting into with your attacks. So I actually think this is a really strong card and a good build around.
It's good. The only thing I think that's going to be holding you back is it is 4 mana. So if you can ramp this out a little bit early with some treasure, that'd be really good. But 4 mana is a little bit late in the game for an enchantment that will get a few cards out of your opponent's hand.
Well, but it will trigger the turn that it works, that you play it though.
It does, yeah. It triggers the turn it comes down, which is really good. So you're probably going to get at least 1 card out of your opponent. And 2 life. So 4 mana, your opponent discards a card and loses 2 life is just about good enough.
Yeah, and they have to do something, because if they didn't do anything about your creature that turn, it's ready to attack again the next turn. So it doesn't have to connect, it just has to attack. So this is a scary card.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be wanting to play this, especially in sealed, where it's a little bit slower. But even in draft, it's going to get there.
Tell us about this one.
This is Pirate Booty, Revel in Riches, 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you get a treasure artifact token. So fine, yeah, kill something, get a treasure. And it's an alternate win con. If at the beginning of your upkeep you have 10 or more treasures, you win. Game over, GG's.
This is cool.
I mean, it literally says you win the game on it, so it must be good.
Yeah. I'm down with that. Let's do it.
I'm so not down with this in limited.
No, me either.
No.
I don't think it's very good at all. It's awesome. This could be a cool build around in constructed or of some sort, I think. Though.
Yeah, possibly. I think artifacts can be difficult to interact with, particularly if this is a rogue deck, which it's going to be a crazy janky deck.
Yeah.
At FNM, this can be turn 5, play this, do you kill me? Because you can have 10 treasures by that time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just play all of the cheap guys that make treasures.
Yeah, probably played in a Grixis deck, so you've got some Wrath effects, Hour of Devastation comes down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a cool card. So, cool for Constructed, don't touch it in Limited. Just don't do it, ever.
Another bulk rare, yeah.
Ruin Raider.
This card's real good. 2 and a black for a 3/2 Orc Pirate, and has a raid trigger at the beginning of your end step. If you attacked with a creature this turn, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to that card's converted mana cost.
So it's Bob.
So this is the Bob. I think of all of the cards that they've tried to make like Bob, this is probably the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah. This is a really strong ability, and again, it's an end of your turn ability, which means you play this on turn 3 after attacking with your 2-drop. People usually don't block on turn 2. It's going to come through, and then this guy just comes down and draws you a card.
Yep. This is Card Advantage Engine, and this is awesome.
Yeah, great card. So just slam pick this. It's probably even splashable, to be honest, because it's only the single black, and it's good later in the game as well.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. It's good, really good late in the game as well. This card's
So
good.
yeah, if you're in green-red or something like that, you could probably easily splash this.
Yep. Card Advantage Engine. Get it on.
Alright, we now have a Ruthless Knave. This is another 3-drop, 2 and a black for a 3/2, and it has 2 and a black, sacrifice a creature, create 2 colorless artifact creature tokens. So another sacrifice outlet for your, what do you call them, threaten effects, so your captivating crew and stuff like that in red. It also has another ability there, sacrifice 3 treasures to draw a card.
That's pretty cool. So if you are able to keep mana up and you are sacrificing a creature to their removal spell or whatever, if it's going to die anyway, then, or chump block, then you can draw some cards off it later. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really interesting numbers on this. The fact that you get 2 treasures out of each creature that you sacrifice, so it gets you most of the way there to, you only sacrifice 2 creatures and draw a card. It costs you 6 mana, but still. And it's not a tap ability. Like, you can do this late in the game. You've got a bunch of random dorks that you don't need anymore. You just pay 6, draw 2 cards.
Yeah, it'll be.
Sorry, pay 6, draw a card.
Yeah.
Sacrifice off your little dudes. This looks like a card that I'm going to play in a black-white vampires deck, even though it's not a vampire.
Yeah. I mean, this is also good with like your other pirates that do treasury stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah, there's I think there's a blue 1/3 that comes in, makes 1 treasure. You then sack that guy off with a chump block or something like that to draw a card.
That seems sweet. Yeah.
Really cool card. I want to pick this up early.
Yep.
All right, how about this one?
This is cool artwork. But anyway, Sanctum Seeker, 2 black for a 3/4 vampire knight. And whenever a vampire you control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, this is scary. This is sort of like a Hell Rider for your vampires.
Yeah, Hell Rider, Brutal Horde Chief is the black version.
Yeah.
I really want to see someone try and cosplay this.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That's a really cool looking vampire. Yeah, this is really good in the vampire decks. And it's each opponent too, so 2-headed giant, make that vampire deck if you get this.
Yeah, for sure. This might put vampires on the map for constructed. This kind of card.
Yeah, definitely going to be a consideration.
Yeah.
I mean, the black-white sorcery, do you remember that was 3 mana for 2/1/1s or 4 mana for 3?
It was 4 mana for 3, I think. But the white sorcery was 3 mana for 2.
So yeah, you've got a couple of different ways to go really wide with your vampires, and play this on turn 5, swing for 5, drain 5. Yeah, that's definitely a deck.
Yeah, it seems like this card's really cool. I'm going to be happy to grab this one early.
Yeah, very sweet card. Obviously, it has to go in a vampire deck. Like a 4 mana 3/4 by itself is not really good enough as a rare. Like, you pick it later in the pack if you're not in vampires, but
Yeah, I mean it kind of attacks for 4.
yeah. So it's a fine card, but you're probably taking removal over this.
Yeah, and better creatures in a non-vampire deck. Yeah.
Alright, we now have the Seeker's Squire. This is 1 and a black for a 1/2 that explores.
This is fine.
This is fine. I think you just treat this like a bear. Like, it's probably... Most of the time it's going to be a 2/3... Sorry, half the time it's going to be a 2/3. The other half, it pulls a land off your library. So...
A 1/2 is like really bad, but a 2/3 is really good. So it's kind of always one or the other.
I think this is early enough that a 1/2 that kind of draws a card, or almost draws a card, is good enough. Because we would play the 2-mana 1/1 that draws a card when it dies, sort of thing. So
Yeah, I suppose so.
this sort of
Yeah,
does
you're
it.
right.
So I think this is good enough.
Yep.
As is this. Skittering Heartstopper, 1 mana for a 1/2. And it has black. It gives it Death Touch.
Yeah, it's interesting that you have to pay for this Death Touch. I'm wondering why that is. And there was something similar with Khans. You had to pay for it as well. Maybe it's got something to do with raid. They don't want it to be too easy. Like, you just swing in with a 1/1 and not have to pay any mana to get the Death Touch.
Yeah, I think this is still going to be really good with raid anyway, because the threat of activation is going to be good enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just sort of thinking it's interesting that they make you pay for it in sets with raid.
Yeah. And you are definitely going to want to block this with an early creature. Like, if you have a bear, just block. Just get this thing off the battlefield, because it's going to annoy you most of the game afterwards.
Yeah, because eventually, if you don't need the raid triggers, it's just going to sit back and block your big guy. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is a very annoying card. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be happy playing it and not happy playing against it.
Yeah.
Next is a great card name, Skullduggery.
Yes, sweet. 1 black mana for an instant at common until end of turn. Target creature you control gets +1/+1, and target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. Yeah, it's okay.
It's a decent combat trick, and it's 1 mana instant, so I think that's probably going to be okay and good, as you say, good enough to get in, because you will be able to kill a creature reasonably often.
Yeah, in total it's +2/+2 in terms of just a total, which is good for black. You don't usually see that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this one.
Yeah. I mean, there are some reasonable shenanigans you can do with this. It doesn't have to be the creature that's fighting together. Like, you can do +1 this creature so it wins combat, +1 -1 a different creature so it loses combat. So you can engineer some 2-for-1s out of this as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, yeah, you're right. I think now that you've said that, I like this a lot more. I'm going to play this card.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a worthwhile combat trick overall. So, yeah, keep an eye out for it, and if your opponent has 1 black up, just think about this card, because it's going to get you blown out if you don't.
Yep.
Skymarch Bloodletter is a 2 and a black for a vampire soldier, 2/2 with flying. So by itself, that's a Windrake, and it has upside. So when it enters the battlefield target, it drains for 1. Your opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life.
I like it.
Windrake, appropriate creature types with upside. I mean, since when does black get a Windrake with upside, for God's sake?
I know, right? Yeah, that's a really good point. At common. Yeah, this is a good card.
Triggers raid because it's evasive. My goodness. This just keeps going up on my list
Yeah.
of black commons.
I think this is going to be a high pick for black.
Yeah, really happy with that card.
Yep.
Pick and play that one. Do not like this card.
Destroy target lands, control. Yeah, nah, we're not playing this.
No, destroy target land, not good enough. Stone Rain needs to be at 3 mana for it to be worthwhile.
Yep.
Alright, this is a bit more fun.
Yeah, you go for this one. I don't get this one.
Alright, so Sword Point Diplomacy is 3 mana for a sorcery. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library. For each of those cards, you either get to keep it, or the opponent has to pay 3 life. Then any cards that they didn't pay life for are... Sorry, that they did pay life for are exiled. So you basically flip the top 3 cards of your library, your opponent chooses put it into exile or pay 3 life. It's a Browbeat, which is not a good card overall. I don't think it's basically a black version of Browbeat. But the problem is, your opponent gets to choose even more than Browbeat. And Browbeat wasn't very good.
Yeah, you draw 3 lands, like, okay, sure.
And, I mean, you flip them over and your opponent can just see all of the information. It's not like... If this was just pay 3 life or draw a card, do that 3 times, that might be a more interesting decision because your opponent doesn't know what you're going to draw. But as it is, I don't think I want this card.
I don't either. I've seen a lot of talk about this card and everyone's been very positive about it, but I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's good at all. I don't think I'll ever feel good playing this card.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think some people might be looking at it from a red-black aggressive standard deck, in which case it's you lose life or you draw me cards. You don't really care because you're getting a lightning bolt either way.
Sure.
But yeah, in limited, absolutely not interested, and I don't even think it's going to be good enough for standard, to be honest. I think I'd just rather more actual creatures or burn spells.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. Out of here.
Pass.
Vanquish the Weak. 2 and a black for an instant. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Cool.
That's really good.
I think we've seen this card and it cost 2 and was a sorcery.
Yep.
I think that was in Origins. But it was good, and this is going to kill, what, 60% of the creatures in the format, so...
Yeah, it kills a hell of a lot. It's a smother effect, it's at instant speed. The art is really sick. I mean, that guy in the background is some kind of cleric, apparently, who's just destroyed this dude.
Yeah. That's brutal. They're supposed to use white magic clerics. Oh no, they're black as well. Yeah.
Punish those who do not recognize the righteous authority of the church. Wow.
Creepy.
Very politically appropriate at the moment.
Okay.
Moving on, play this card, it's good and limited.
Yeah, be careful of combat tricks, though, that boost power, because that will counter this card.
Yes, yeah, make sure you're aware of your opponent's potential tricks.
Yep.
Vicious Conquistador. This is a 1-mana 1/2 vampire soldier, and when it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life.
So kind of attacks for 2 power, kind of, but not really.
Yeah, no, we've had a number of these kinds of cards, and most of them have been very mediocre. There was one in Origins that was an elf. There was one in Kaladesh that was an Aetherborn, and they're all pretty eh. If you're in vampires, you probably want to play it just because vampires, and some of them have raid. So if you want to get your raid early, maybe.
Yeah, I can see this in aggressive. In constructed, I can see this in aggressive vampire decks that just want as many vampires on the field as quickly as possible, and this will hit for 2 against many decks, like really quickly. So that's the thing. But I don't think for limited it's good at all.
Yeah, no, I think the most important word on the entire card is vampire, and if that word isn't important to you, then you don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Vraska's Contempt.
So this is the card that's gonna make control a thing. 2 black for an instant, and exile target creature or planeswalker, and you gain 2 life.
So obviously limited. It's unconditional removal. Awesome, just play it.
Windmill Slam, yeah.
But standard, do you think this is what's gonna make control a thing?
Yeah.
Explain.
Because the mid-range decks, I think, that are available will be kind of weak to this card. The aggro decks, I think, will get beaten by the mid-range decks because the mid-range decks will be too good, and then control will come in, and this will be one of their good removal spells.
Interesting. So I think there's going to be a bit of evolution in the format then, because...
Oh yeah, it always is for control decks with a new format. But I think in, say, 6 to 8 weeks, this will be in the best control deck in the format.
I'm not sure the best control deck outright control deck in the format is black.
You don't think?
No, I'm feeling it's more going to be a Jeskai build.
Okay. See, I'm thinking Sultai, so...
Whereas I think more of your mid-range type, mid-range to maybe erring on the option of going up to control via sideboard, is going to be in your Abzan. Your green-black X deck, I think, is going to be not exactly control, but more towards the mid-range.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where this will fit in really well. So, yeah, I think I don't entirely disagree with you. I just look at it from a slightly different lens.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking Grixis might be a thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I would like that. I really love Grixis.
Because Nicol Bolas is still sort of there, and the gods are still there.
Yeah, Grixis Control is one of my more favoured archetypes ever since I started playing it in Highlander, so I think I would love to see Grixis Control happen.
Yep.
Next is Walk the Plank, and so this is just the most meme-worthy card in the set. This is 2 mana sorcery, destroy target non-merfolk creature. And basically everyone has been looking for what are the wacky things that I can make walk the plank.
Yeah, you can make a shark walk the plank, and it will get, eaten by the other sharks that are in that pool there. That's just stupid.
You can make a Stormtide Leviathan walk the plank.
Yeah.
Or
It's got to be non-flying, right? Because why would a flying creature care if it walked the plank?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to pointing my sword at the back of a pterodon or a pterodactyl and being just like, go on, jump in the water.
Oh my god. It's cool though.
Yeah, this is a good card. Non-merfolk is not that difficult of a restriction, and I think this is going to be really high pick, because it just kills all the giant dinosaurs, it kills all the annoying pirates, kills all the vampires, so yeah, I think you're going to pick this early, and double black is a restriction, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, it means you can't splash it. Like, historically, you could always splash those 2 mana removal spells, but not this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, and obviously side it out if you happen to come up against the blue-green merfolk deck, but...
Yeah, don't be scared to side these out.
Yeah, really good card. It's also going to be the promo for Game Day, I believe. It's just the participation promo.
Okay.
I can't remember what the actual top 8 promo is, so... let's continue on. Wanted Scoundrels, which, if I'm not mistaken, is our last card. 1 and a black for a 4/3 pirate. And when it dies, target opponent gets 2 colorless treasure artifact.
This card's bonkers.
Okay.
This is good. This is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm only saying that because I've had discussions already, and people don't think it's good. I think this is excellent, and you'll pick this real early.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we haven't talked about the Oath Druid 1 mana green thing yet, but explain why that rare is worse than Wanted Scoundrels. So for a reminder for those at home, it's a 1 green for a 3/3, and when it enters the battlefield, each player or your opponent searches for a land. I think it might just be your opponent gets a land.
Well, because they don't get 2 mana straight off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
You get a 4/3, and they have nothing.
Right.
Can you imagine a scenario where on turn 2 you've got a 4/3 and they're untapping with 1 mana? This is going to beat their face in.
True. I guess I'm also imagining the scenario where they untap with Lightning Strike, and then on turn 3 they have 5 mana.
Sure.
So
yeah, I get that, but
there's
what I'm
some
saying
danger.
Yeah, there's danger and there's risk with it, but this is going to kill them way more than you're going to get punished for it.
Alright, I think... Interesting that you take that line. I think the flavor text is right. Trust me, the reward's not worth it.
They're talking about the people trying to take them on.
Well, I'm talking about taking this card in my pool, and I don't think it's worth it.
Well, you think about the... in Amonkhet, the 4/3 where you had to discard a card. That was a way bigger cost than what this is.
Oh, see, I disagree. I feel like giving your opponent the chance to ramp is a bigger risk, because that 4/3, if it dies, your opponent had to spend a card, and it's still a 2-for-1 for them.
But how often did you just win because you had that backed up by a couple of cards? Like,
yeah, no, it's been good. So
you just win the game. Like the upside is winning the game. Like
I've heard that's good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. Oh, I shouldn't try and oversell it too much, but 4 power on turn 2 is crazy.
Yeah, it's a really big one. I like the card. I do like the card. I just will be careful about it.
And yeah, and I get the risk that you're talking about, and that's real. I don't want to underplay it, but I think the amount of times that you're gonna get rewarded for this compared to how many times you're gonna get blown out is just gonna be way higher in your advantage.
Yeah, I think it's going to make an interesting minigame because if I have this in play, I'm going to be really afraid to attack into open mana. Because losing it to a combat trick, usually losing a creature to a combat trick, you're like, yeah, whatever, but it also just jumps my opponent ahead in the game.
Yeah, but how quickly is a combat trick actually going to win it for them? Like,
Turn 2, turn 3. Like if you've got a bear, so you play this, smash for 4. They play a 2-drop and have 1 mana.
Yeah, but that's a 2 for 1.
Can kill you.
But that's a 2 for 1.
That's great, and then they untap and play a 5-drop, or 6-drop, or something like that. So.
Yeah, sure, but you 2 for 1 them.
Yeah, and again, my point was not this is a bad card. My point was I will want to be careful about how I use my Wanted Scoundrels.
Sure.
I'm going to be more scared. All right.
I just see this not getting blocked for like 2 or 3 turns, and then you getting easy raid triggers and just snowballing this game.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see this card playing.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
Okay.
I think I'm generally on your side on this one. I'm not quite as happy with it as you are, but I'm pretty close. So I think it's a good card.
Okay then.
Good to play. And we should see a black screen now. Yep, Wanted Scoundrels is the end of the black cards. There are some really aggressive black cards here.
Yeah. And some of the discard stuff as well. Like, feel like, yeah, this is just going to snowball out of control a lot of the time, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing black. I like black normally, but it looks really cool in this set. So
I'm even looking forward to playing black. So there you go.
All right. Well, thanks again for working through all the black cards. We're going to be back with the red cards in just a few minutes, so don't go away.
Let's do it.